Hello learners, welcome to the certificate in Russian language. Dear learners, have you ever wondered how the Russian language sounds? Привет, здравствуйте, как дела, меня зовут, как вас зовут, etc. These are all phrases of Russian language. Let us know about Russian language. In this program, we have included many interesting lessons like common Russian words, greetings in Russian, common Russian phrases, expressions, dialogues, texts, etc. We have also included a vocabulary of more than 500 words. These all words are used in our daily communication. Dear learners, by attempting these lessons, you will be able to comprehend Russian language in a better way. By completing these lessons, you will be able to introduce yourself in Russian, communicate with your friends in Russian language, speak simple sentences in Russian, express yourself in typical places like at the airport or at the hospital in Russian, and you will be able to understand Russian culture in a correct and a better way. Let's start our course with introduction to the Russian alphabet. In this lesson, you will be learning the Russian sound system and the phonetic sound of different letters of the Russian alphabet. By learning the basic of Russian alphabet, you will be able to distinguish between the different sounds of the Russian letters. Dear learners, there are 33 letters in the Russian alphabet, out of which there are 21 consonants, 10 vowels and 2 sign symbols. But before we start with the Russian alphabet, let us know more about the history of the Russian language first. Russian language or Ruski Язык is a Slavic language of the Indo-European family. Russian language is closely related to the Ukrainian and Belarusian, and it has about 144 million native speakers in Russia, and it is spoken in many countries of the world. The Russian alphabet, derived from the Cyrillic alphabet, was introduced into Russia. That time it was called Kievan Rus. At that time of its conversion to Christianity in 988 AD, Cyrillic script is named in honor of the Byzantine scholar and the monk Cyril, who together with his brother Methodius created the first Slavic writing system in the second half of the 9th century in order to translate the Bible and other Christian texts into the Slavic languages. Dear learners, the standard well-known form of Russian is also called Современный русский литературный язык or modern Russian literary language. It arose in the beginning of 18th century with the modernization reforms of Russian state under the rule of Peter the Great, who has been considered one of the finest rulers of Imperial Russia. So, shall we start with the Russian alphabet now? After knowing about the nature and origin of Russian language, we will begin with an introduction to the Russian alphabet. If you remember, I told you that in Russian alphabet we have 33 letters, out of which there are 10 vowels, 21 consonants and 2 signs. So, we will start and learn these letters of the alphabet one by one. The first letter is A, like A in father. I will also give you one example in Russian. The word is Atlas. In the word Atlas, you can recognize the sound of the letter A. Atlas, which means Atlas in English. The next letter of the alphabet is B, like B in bat. I will give you one example in Russian. Nieba, nieba, which means sky. The next letter is ve, ve, like ve in wet. I will give you one example in Russian, Visna, Visna, which means spring season. The next letter is ge, ge, like in the word argue. I will give you one example in Russian, Gorod, Gorod, which means city in Russian. The next letter is de, de, like D in do. I will give you one example in Russian, dom, dom, which means house. The next letter is ye, ye, like A in pay. I will give you one example in Russian, pevets, pevets, which means singer. Dear learners, you may please pay attention to the letters of the Russian alphabet, as earlier we have done a, be, ve, ge, de, etc. Now you have seen ye, and you may please also pay attention to the color of the letters, like earlier we have given the colors to the Russian alphabet accordingly to the nature of the consonant and vowels. Largely all consonants are blue, so it is indicated accordingly throughout the text, and the vowels are colored in red. So, it is more understanding for you to make it clearly visible, as well as to make it more clear to you to appreciate the sound and nature of these letters. Let us go further. The next letter, which is again a vowel, yo, like O in audio. I will give you one example in Russian, yolka, yolka, which means Christmas tree. The next letter is R, R, like R in pleasure. I will give you an example in Russian for this letter, zhuk, zhuk, which means beetle. The next letter is Z, Z, like Z in zoo. Example in Russian would be zont, zont, which means umbrella in English. Dear learners, I would like to tell you that there is a big difference between the pronunciation of all these letters, and there are some letters which are very similar, but they are different. Let us do them once again. Letter Z and letter Z. So, when pronouncing them correctly, you must understand how these letters are pronounced in a correct manner. Let us repeat it once again, ye and yo, pevets, yolka, zhuk, zont. Let us learn more letters of Russian now. The next letter is E, like E in sweet, sweet, or a Russian sample word iris, iris, which means iris in English. The next letter is E kratky, E kratky, or famously as we understand in Hindi, E kratky is like the small e. Kratky means small or little. I will give you an example of using E kratki in Russian, like yield, yield, or a sample Russian word for E kratki would be yogurt, yogurt, which means yogurt. The next letter is K, K, like K in milk, milk. A sample Russian word for letter K is kniga, kniga, which means book in Russian. The next letter is L, L, like L in pill. A sample Russian word for this letter is Luna, Luna, which means moon in English. Let us go to the next letter. The next letter is M, M, as M in mute, mute. A sample Russian word for M, like in muila, muila, which means soap. Let us go to the next letter now. N, N, like N in noon. A sample Russian word for letter N as in nose, nose, which means nose in English. The next letter is O, O. We pronounce O as in chor, chor. A sample Russian word for using letter O as in oblaka, oblaka, which means cloud, cloud. Let us learn the next letter now. The next letter is P, P, as in pool, pool. A sample Russian word for letter P is privyet, privyet, which means hello. If you remember that in the beginning itself I said privyet, it is the most common word used in Russian almost every day, because you meet your friends, you meet people, and you always start your conversation with privyet, privyet, kakzila, which means how are you, and all these phrases you will be learning in the coming lessons. But now let us learn the rest of the Russian letters. The next letter is R, R, as in run, run. A sample Russian word for letter R as in raduga, raduga, which means rainbow. The next letter is S, S, as in soup, soup. A sample Russian word for letter S is sabaka, sabaka, which means dog. Let us go to the next letter now. The next letter is T, 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 as in the word tool, tool. A sample Russian word for letter T as in taxi, taxi, which means taxi. Learners, did you understand how these pronunciations are different from each other, and especially when I am pronouncing several words in Russian? They are pronounced differently because there are certain rules applied to them, like the intonation and the stress, which play a significant role in Russian language. All these fundamentals of Russian language will be taught to you in coming lessons, of course. You may please also pay attention how these letters are written in capital and small letters, because Russian script, it also consists of small and capital letters, as well as the style of writing these letters are also different. And of course, you will be learning all these fundamentals and basics in coming lessons. Let us go to the next letter now. The name of the letter is U. U, like U in pool. Pool. A sample Russian word for letter U as utka. Utka, which means duck. Let us go to the next letter now. The name of the next letter is F. F, like F in few. A sample Russian word for letter F as in flag. Flag, which means flag. Let us go to the next letter. Letter Kh. Kh, like in word Khan. Khan. A sample Russian word for letter Kh is Khleb. Khleb, which means bread. Let us go to the next letter now. The name of the letter is Ts. Ts, like Ts in Tsar. Tsar. A sample Russian word for letter Ts is Tsar. Tsar, which means Tsar. And interestingly, the word Tsar, which means Tsar in English, has also been introduced in the Russian language from the western part of the world, as in Caesar. So, from Caesar to Tsar, the Russian word comes into the knowledge. Let us go to the next letter now. The name of the next letter is Ch. Ch, like Ch in church. Church. A sample Russian word for letter Ch is Chai. Chai, which means tea. Which means tea in English. But very interestingly, in Russian, when we say chai, it means tea, but when you really want to have a tea, maybe like a black tea, then you say chorni chai, but when you say tea with milk, then you say chai s malakom. But instead of saying chorni chai, which actually means black tea, doesn't qualify to be a common phrase used in Russian. Instead of saying chorni chai, we say chai biz malaka, which means tea without milk. So, all these phrases of course you will be learning. Let us go to the next letter now. The next letter is Sh. Sh, like Sh in push. A sample Russian word for letter Sh is chef. Chef, which means actually boss in English, not chef. So, these are some words in Russian which are basically they sound like something else, but they are actually literally mean something different, like you just learned the word chef, which might confuse you as chef. I mean chef in hotels and restaurants, but it actually means boss. For chef in English, we have another word in Russian which means povar. You will be learning such other words in your next lessons. Let us go to the next letter of the Russian alphabet now. The name of the letter of the alphabet is Sha. Sha. You may please also pay attention how they are written. They are totally different look-wise and as well as how they are pronounced. Sha as in shoes. A sample Russian word we have used for Sha is sheath. Sheath, which means shield. Let us go to the next letter. If you remember, I have told you in the beginning that out of 33 letters of the Russian alphabet, we have two signs. They are tverdy znak and myakky znak, which means the hard sign and the soft sign. Let us learn the first one, tverdy znak or the hard sign. What role does it play? Let us learn about this. Hard sign, since it has no sound, it is used to emphasize the sound for the preceding consonant and adds a small pause before the next syllable. I will give an example to make it more clear. Let us learn this. The word is padyezd. Padyezd. The word padyezd, we have used exact symbol as we just learned, the heart sign after the letter there. So, there is a small pause, padyezd. So, since it has no pronunciation, but it is only used to emphasize the sound for the preceding consonant, and it helps in adding a small pause before the next syllable. So, there are very few words exist in Russian with the letter tвердый знак or the heart sign. A sample Russian word for this is objective, which is called lens. Let us go to the next letter now. This is one of the most popular letter of the Russian alphabet. The pronunciation is uy. Uy. Since it has no clear resemblance to any other letter which can be used, but still we have used one example to make it clear, like uy in buy, or a sample Russian word we have used to describe this as in word ryba, ryba, which means fish. Let us go to the next letter, myakkий знак. This is the second or the last sign of the Russian alphabet. Since it also do not have any pronunciation, but let us understand what role does it play. Soft sign, since it has no sound, it helps in softens the preceding consonants. I will give an example to make it clear. The word is ruble, ruble. So, it adds to the sound of the preceding consonants, ruble, like this. I will give an example in Russian, kon, kon, which means horse or stallion, because you also have another word for horse in Russian, that is loshad, but that is used for mare. So, we will be learning such more words in coming lessons. Let us go to the next letter. The next letter of the Russian alphabet is a, like a in met. I will give you another example in Russian. The word is ikran, ikran, like a in ekran, which means screen, screen. Let us go to the next letter of the Russian alphabet now. The name of the letter is U, U, like U in use. I will give you an example in Russian. The word is Jupiter, Jupiter, which means Jupiter. Let us go to the last letter of the Russian alphabet now. The name of the last letter of the Russian alphabet is Ya, Ya, as in ya in yarn. I will give you a sample Russian word for letter ya, as in yablaka, yablaka, which means apple in Russian. Dear learners, let us summarize what we have learned so far. In this lesson, you have learned about the origin of the Russian language and about its structure. You have also learned about the Russian alphabet and its letter in a detailed manner. You may please pay attention to all these letters, how they are written in capital and small. You may please keep in mind how these letters are approximate in English language. You may please also revise them one by one, because all letters, they are different from each other. With the help of certain examples in Russian, such words which we have used in the first lesson itself, please revise them and learn them. It will add up to your vocabulary. Now, in the next lesson, you will be learning about the basics of Russian phonetics, and you will be introduced to the vowels and consonants of this language in a correct and detailed manner. Spasiba, which means thank you.